Good evening aspirants, welcome to daily newspaper analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 28th February 2025. Displayed here are the list of topics that we are going to discuss today. The first topic is about Jahan-e-Khusrau Festival, and this is an important Sufi music festival, and this article is taken from Hindu newspaper. The second article is about the Karnataka Health Department banning the polyethylene sheets used for cooking. In this article discussion, we are going to discuss about the plastic pollution, and this article is taken from Indian Express newspaper. The third article is about Champakan Dorairajan case. We are going to discuss about this landmark judgment and about the constitutional amendment. So this article is taken from Indian Express newspaper. The last article is about the Supreme Court upholding the arrest under GST and Customs Act. So this article is also taken from Indian Express newspaper. So these are the four important articles we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this article. This is an important case in Indian constitution, Champakan Dorairajan case. Champakan Dorairajan was a Brahmin woman who was denied admission to medical college despite having higher merit. So this article discusses Champakan Dorairajan, whose legal challenge in 1951 against caste-based reservation in educational institutions led to India's first constitutional amendment. Supreme Court ruled in her favor, promoting the government to amend the constitution to protect the reservation policies. So this shaped India's approach to social justice and affirmative action. In this context, let us discuss about the background of the case and also about the reservation policies. In 1948, Madras government introduced a communal GO, that is a government order, which reserved seats in the state-run medical and engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. The reservation policy of the Madras government allocated seats, 6 seats for non-Brahmin Hindus, 2 seats for Brahmin Hindus, 2 seats for Harijans, and 1 seat for Anglo-Indians and 1 seat for Muslims. So this is a reservation policy of Madras government back then. Champakan Dorairajan, who is a Brahmin woman, was denied admission to medical college despite having the merit to enter the college. So this is because of the reservation system. So she challenged the order in the Madras High Court, and she argued that this government order of Madras government has violated the equality under Article 29 of Indian Constitution. High Court ruled in her favor, striking down the communal government order. The state of Madras appealed to the Supreme Court, leading to a landmark case. Let us see the arguments in favor of reservation put forward by the state of Madras. The first one is social justice and upliftment. The reservation policy aimed to uplift the backward communities who historically faced discrimination and lacked access to education. Next, the directive principles of state policy. The Madras state argued that the policy was justified under Article 46. So this Article 46 directs the government to promote the educational and economic interest of weaker sections. The third one is historical inequality. The caste system has long marginalized the lower castes. So this makes the affirmative action a necessary step to ensure the fair representation in education. So these are the important arguments put forward by Madras government in the High Court. Now what are the arguments against reservation put forward by Champakan Dorairajan? Firstly, the right to equality under Article 14 and 15. The policy of Madras government discriminated against the individuals based on caste. So this violates the fundamental right to equality. The second one is merit over caste. The admission should be based on merit rather than birth. This is because the reservation policies could exclude the more qualified candidates. So this is the argument put forward by Champakan Dorairajan in Madras High Court. The third one is violation of Article 29. This article states that no citizen shall be denied admission to a state-run institution based on religion, race, caste or language. So this article is also violated by the Madras government order. So these are the arguments put forward by Champakan Dorairajan in the Madras High Court. Now the Madras government has appealed in the Supreme Court against the Madras High Court order. Now what the Supreme Court has said? See, the Supreme Court also ruled in favor of Champakan Dorairajan. So they strike down the reservation policy and deemed it as unconstitutional. Supreme Court held that the fundamental rights under Article 14, 15 and 29 prevailed over the DPSP. So when there is a conflict between the fundamental rights and DPSP, the court said that the fundamental rights prevail. The court also said that the reservation in education violated the right to equality. So this makes the Madras communal government order null and void. Now what is the impact of this important judgment? The first constitutional amendment was created in 1951. In order to nullify the judgment of Supreme Court, the government has passed the First Amendment Act 1951, and this act inserted class 4 in Article 15. So this class 4 in Article 15 allowed the state to make special provisions for socially and educationally backward class. So this has found the legal foundation for reservation in India. The amendment legitimized the caste-based reservation in education and later in employment also, that is included in Article 16. Now about the future reservation policies. So this Champakan Durairajan case became a precedent for later cases regarding the caste-based reservations. So this includes the Indira Savani case in 1992, which upheld the reservation but imposed a 50% limit. So this case, the Champakan Durairajan case, also put forward a shift in constitutional interpretation. The case highlighted the conflict between fundamental rights and DPSP. So this has led to further legal debates and amendments. So these are the important things happened after this first amendment act or Champakan Durairajan case. So this case was a turning point in India's reservation policy and also in amendment of constitution. While the Supreme Court initially upheld the principle of equality, that is the right to equality, the government's response through first amendment ensured the affirmative action. So this case shaped India's approach to social justice, reservation policies and constitutional amendments. So with this, let us conclude the discussion about this one. Let us look at the prelims practice question. The first constitutional amendment inserted which provision in Article 15? The correct answer is option B, Article 15, Class 4. It stated that special provisions for social and educationally backward classes. So with this, let us wind up the discussion and move to the next news article. Now look at this article. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to attend the Jahan-e-Khusrau Festival. So this Jahan-e-Khusrau Festival is a Sufi music festival which is held annually. And the important thing is, this is the first time the head of the government, that is Prime Minister, is attending this festival. So in this context, let us discuss about this Jahan-e-Khusrau Festival. As I said earlier, it is a Sufi music festival which is held annually and it is an internationally popular festival. This festival particularly celebrates the legacy of Amir Khusrau. It also propagates the Sufi teachings and the literary works of Amir Khusrau. Regarding Amir Khusrau, he lived during the Delhi Sultanate period and he is a contemporary of Balban, Jalaluddin Khilji, Alauddin Khilji and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. So he lived during both the Khalji period and also during the Tughlaq period. Regarding the literary contribution of Amir Khusrau, he contributed many literary works in Persian and Hindavi poetry. He is also a pioneer in Indo-Persian literature. So he is called as the parrot of Hindustan because of his unique poetry works. He also contributed the Tughlaq Nama, which is a work on Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq's reign. Regarding the musical innovation, he invented Qawwali, which is a Sufi devotional music, and it is used by the Chishti Sufi order. He also introduced sitar and tabla, which are the musical instruments in Indo-Persian music. Sitar is a combination of Indian veena and Persian shatar. Tabla is a modification of pakawaj used by Indians, and sitar and tabla are the innovations of Amir Khusrau. Regarding the cultural impact of Amir Khusrau, he introduced Rakta, which is an important dialect, the local dialect in Urdu language. So he is also called the parrot of Hindustan because of his unique poetry style. So this is about Amir Khusrau. Now look at this prelims practice question. Jahan-e-Khusrau Festival is an annual Sufi music festival in India founded by Muzaffar Ali to celebrate the legacy of Amir Khusrau. Yes, this statement is obviously correct. Now look at the second statement. Amir Khusrau is credited with invention of sitar and introduction of Qawwali in Indian subcontinent. Yes, this statement is also correct. Both of the statements given here are correct and the correct answer is option C. With this, let us wind up the discussion and move to the next news article. Now look at this article. Karnataka Health Department has banned the use of plastic sheet for steaming idlis. So this is regarding the serious public health hazard. There were several inspections in Karnataka revealing the toxic chemicals from plastic which are leaching into the food during the cooking. So this has potential health risks such as carcinogenic effects. And this is what this article is about. In this context, let us discuss about the pollution of plastic and what are the health hazards regarding the use of plastic in food. See, plastics are a group of material either synthetic or naturally occurring which can be shaped when soft and then hardened to retain the given shape. Thermoplastics are polymers that can be melted and recast almost indefinitely. Thermosets are polymer that are irreversibly become rigid when heated. So these are the two types of plastics. Now let us discuss about the efforts taken by Indian government to mitigate the plastic pollution. First is ban on single-use plastic in 2022. India has banned the manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale of single-use plastic in 2022. So items like plastic cutlery, plastic plates, straws, polyester, decorations and other disposable plastic products are prohibited. This enforcement is carried out through state pollution control boards, central pollution control board and local governments. The next important step is plastic waste management rules and amendments. The plastic waste management rules was amended in 2021 and it introduced the extended producer responsibility, that is EPR. Here EPR means the manufacturers have responsibility for collecting and recycling their plastic waste even it is after enter the market. The government also announced the thickness of plastic carry bags. In 2021, the thickness of plastic carry bag was increased from 50 microns to 75 microns. In 2022, the government further increased the plastic carry bags to 120 microns thickness. So this ensured that plastic bags can be reused and recycled. So if the plastic bag has thickness of more microns, then it can be recycled and reused. Many plastic bags have less thickness and it cannot be recycled. So the government is increasing the thickness of plastic bags. So these are the important steps taken by government to prevent the plastic pollution. Now look at this prelims practice question. Which of the following statements about polyethylene is correct? High density polyethylene is used for making milk bottles and detergent containers. Low density polyethylene is commonly used in plastic bags and packaging films. Both of these items are types of thermosetting plastic. So select the correct answer using the codes below. Here the first two statements are correct. High density polyethylene is used for making milk bottle and detergent containers. The low density polyethylene is commonly used in plastic bags and packaging films. So these statements are correct. So the third statement is incorrect because both HDPE and LDPE are considered as thermoplastics and not thermosetting plastic. The difference here is these HDPE and LDPE plastics are thermoplastic, which means they can be repeatedly heated and melted and reshaped. Whereas a thermosetting plastic means once it is heated and melted and solidified, it cannot be reshaped back. So thermosetting plastics are one-time plastics which can be shaped only once. But thermoplastics can be heated and solidified and can be reshaped any number of times. So this is the difference between thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. So the high density polyethylene and low density polyethylene are thermoplastics. So the correct answer is 1 and 2 only. With this, let us wind up the discussion. Now look at this article. Supreme Court has upheld the arrest under GST and Custom Act. So the court said that the arrests are valid when they are done under the GST Act or for violating the Customs Act. So this is about the news article. In this context, let us discuss the basic provisions discussed here. Firstly, about the Supreme Court of India. It is the highest judicial authority of the country. It was established on January 28, 1950, that is 2 days after India was declared as a republic nation. It is a guardian of the constitution and it is the final interpreter of the constitution. It means it decides whether the laws or government actions are applicable based on the constitution. It is the highest court of appeal and it also has advisory role. It advises the president whenever he requests. It is also the guardian of the fundamental rights and it has the power of judicial review. So this is about the Supreme Court. Next, about the GST. GST is an indirect tax system which was introduced in 2017. It replaced the multiple indirect taxes that existed before. The taxes like VAT, excess duties are combined under one slab, which is the GST. The key features of GST are it is a one nation, one tax because it is a unified tax structure for the entire country. It is a destination based taxation. Another important feature is the input tax credit, which means the businesses can claim that credit for the inputs they have used. It also has 4 tax slabs and the important component is the GST Council, which is a constitutional body which governs the policy changes under GST. So these are the important features of GST. Now let us discuss about the Customs Act. So these are the basic duties under Customs Act duties. So have a overlook at it. Basic custom duties, countervailing duty, additional custom duty, anti-dumping duty and safeguard duty. So the important aim of the Customs Act to facilitate the imports and exports and to prevent the smuggling. Then about the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, that is PMLA. So the objective of this act is to prevent the money laundering and also to prevent the accumulation of black money. It has power to confiscate the proceeds of crime. It can punish the offenders and can strengthen the financial systems to prevent the money laundering. Now look at this prelims practice question. Which of the following institution is called the guardian of Indian Constitution? So the correct answer is option D, Supreme Court. Now we have come to the end of the discussion. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.